My guest this evening, Tushar Gupta, is a political analyst. Joining us on the broadcast, Parvinder Singh Sethi will be speaking on behalf of the Aam Aadmi Party. Abhishek Sudhir is a lawyer. He's a political analyst as well. Let me start by going to Abhishek Sudhir, who's also a trained lawyer. Abhishek Sudhir, as I said in my introduction, at one level, this case is just about a bail. But at the other level, on another level, it became about democracy, it became about constitution, and it became about free and fair elections. Why is that? Because what we are seeing actually is unprecedented.
Look, Shreya, on your sister channel Times Now, on April 15th on Madhav's show at 10 p.m., I made a bold declaration, a declaration for which I was mocked by one of the panelists here on the program. I said that if the Supreme Court does not grant relief to Mr. Kejriwal, I will be the first person to call for Mr. Kejriwal's resignation. Today, Shreya, I'm happy to say that I've been proven right. But this goes beyond me being proven right. This is not just a judicial order, Shreya. This is a declaration by the Supreme Court, a declaration of its independence, a declaration of the founding principles of our republic, a declaration of the fight that our freedom fighters fought. The freedom fighters fought for universal adult franchise. They fought for free and fair elections. The Supreme Court today has said that you had 18 months, 1-8 Shreya, 18 months to arrest Arvind Kejriwal. You filed the ECIR, the Case Information Report, in August of 2022. And lo and behold, 21st March 2024, 18 months later, 2 months before the general election, not even 2 months, Shreya, 1 month before the general election, less than a month before the general election, you decide to wake up and arrest Arvind Kejriwal. The Supreme Court said that they were not creating a special category of arrestees. The Supreme Court simply said that each case has certain peculiarities. There have to be certain exceptions made in each case. They said in this case, the petitioner, Mr. Kejriwal, who challenges arrest, and mind you, Shreya, Arvind Kejriwal did not apply for bail. Arvind Kejriwal did not petition the Supreme Court for interim bail. Arvind Kejriwal simply challenged his arrest. But Justices Sanjeev Khanna and Justice Dipankar Datta, and Justice Khanna, who happens to be a relative of the great Justice H.R. Khanna, who brought down Indira Gandhi with his in the habeas corpus dissent case, right? He has said that we have to grant interim bail because there have to be free and fair elections. Please don't think that we're carving out a special exception, special exception for politicians. The arrest in March of 2024 clearly smacks of malafides. This is a politically motivated arrest. Arvind Kejriwal's interim bail can be extended. The Supreme Court says they're going to hear that matter in the next week. They will also hear the plea challenging his arrest. So I'm not certain that Mr. Kejriwal will ever return to jail. The Supreme Court today has essentially said that democracy must prevail, dictatorship must fail.
Well, the Supreme Court hasn't said that. The Aam Aadmi Party is saying it. Tushar Gupta, I'll bring you in here. Yesterday, Sanjay Hegde was on the show and he said that when the Supreme Court decides on Arvind Kejriwal's bail... Ek minute. Yeah, they have. Tushar Gupta, Mr. Hegde yesterday said that when the Supreme Court decides on Arvind Kejriwal's bail, they will not be giving a verdict, they'll be taking a stand. Has the Supreme Court, in your view, taken a stand that Arvind Kejriwal being free to campaign for his party is good for India's democracy? It's good for free and fair polls in this country.
Well, in that case, Shreya, every politician who's under trial should also be released. I'm wondering why tribal leader Hemant Soren wasn't released. I'm wondering why Manish Sisodia wasn't released. They aren't a threat to the society either, as the president said by the Supreme Court. So my worry is why this selective bias against one politician. If the Supreme Court indeed believes in democracy, about taking the stance and all that, they are free to do that. They are the Supreme Court after all. But then why not extend the same generosity to Manish Sisodia, who is the Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, or Hemant Soren, who was the Chief Minister of Jharkhand. Arvind Kejriwal is talking about fighting a dictatorship when the Supreme Court has given him an interim bail. Not a bail, an interim bail until June 1 to campaign for the Lok Sabha election when his party has 0 seats in the Lok Sabha. And the Supreme Court has also said that this interim bail is not an opinion on the case proceedings that are still pending with them. So it's not a commentary on the case. This interim bail is not a commentary on the case. The Supreme Court has not granted him any relief, as the previous panelist was trying to explain. They have just told that this is a special moment. We are entering into the 18th Lok Sabha. There are 980 million voters. So we want Arvind Kejriwal to campaign. That's about it. And I'm also not sure how it's a setback to the ED, because the ED is going to get his custody again. The court has not said that Arvind Kejriwal is a free man that the case has no merit. The Supreme Court hasn't said any of it. The only thing the Supreme Court is saying, there is the election, go campaign. There are certain conditions. You cannot talk about the case. You cannot, as a chief minister, you cannot enter the chief minister's office. You cannot speak to the witnesses and so forth. So I don't see it as a relief. But yes, Shreya, if you're talking about the stance of the Supreme Court, I just wonder what it means for Article 14, because in the past, Jagan Reddy, Jayalalitha, Chautala, INLD leader Chautala, that is, Azam Khan of SP, they all have been denied the same courtesy by the Supreme Court, but Arvind Kejriwal has got it. And one last point, Shreya. You remember Amritpal Singh, who was trying to encourage a separatist movement in Punjab, who was trying to encourage a mutiny in the military and within the state police? Pardon me. Today, he's filed his nomination from Khadur Sahib in Punjab. Now, as per the Supreme Court's logic, he should be allowed to campaign because Punjab is also voting in one of the last phases. Now, will the Supreme Court, if Amritpal Singh turns up at the doorstep of the Supreme Court tomorrow, grant him bail, or was this generosity only for Arvind Kejriwal? I think that's for the people to decide.
Tushar, are you comparing a terrorist to a sitting chief minister against whom no charges have been proven? Is this even a fair comparison?
Absolutely not, Aishwarya. Absolutely not. Very good point. But which is the state government in Punjab that facilitated the proceedings for Amritpal Singh to file his nomination? Which leader's party is the government in Punjab right now? Could you tell me? It's Arvind Kejriwal's party, right? I'm not the one drawing any comparison. I'm not the one drawing any comparison at all. I'm saying Arvind Kejriwal has all the right to go for bail. It's his legal right after all. But the grounds
what are you saying?
A problem.
What are you saying
about the grounds?
But what are you saying here, Tushar? No, what are you saying here? Why are you making a parallel between the Aam Aadmi Party in Punjab and Amritpal Singh?
Because Amritpal Singh is also contesting elections, so shouldn't he be also given an interim?
Okay.